pero Bo Nix es especial.
And Bo Nix was back for day 2 of mandatory minicamp, and as it would turn out, the final day of mandatory minicamp, because Sean Payton doesn't fuck around like past coaches for the Broncos and do foolish bullshit like field day. Vic Fangio. Hey, it's DMac, and it's the 18th of June. Welcome to DMac Smack. We're brought to you by our great friends at Journey Spice. At Journey Spice, if you use this QR code right here, it'll take you to Amazon.com, where if you use the code OFFSEASON26, you can save yourself 10%. The meals are delicious. The product is incredible. It's organic. It has incredible packaging. It tastes amazing and goes on every single food source you can think of. Journey Spice for the win. Love you, Journey Spice. More on Journey Spice in just a little bit, but keep in mind, look at the packaging. It's so nice. There's the herbs de Provence. I'm sure I said that wrong. Thank you, Journey Spice. The Broncos have wrapped up their year, and that is the end of school for the sports talk year. Sure, there's other things going on, like the World Cup and the U.S. Open is underway. But for local sports, we have wrapped things up. And I'm not trying to discount the Rockies. In fact, I'm going to have a big breakdown of their 8-6 loss to the Cubs coming up here in a second. But midseason baseball is not exactly the playoffs, nor is it football. So I hope everybody had a wonderful sports talk year. And now we get into the Mount Rushmore of, well, everything. But we did have things last night, and we had the final day of mandatory minicamp. First of all, I should have Sean Payton explain why he canceled the final day.
Sean, Bo said yesterday he thought you guys were further along in the spring than his 2 previous years. Would you concur with that? Did that kind of also go into canceling tomorrow?
I don't know. I think there was a purpose for canceling tomorrow. I like where we're at relative to the installation. There's still, as we're rotating a lot of guys in, there's a number of times where in training camp we're going to repeat something, and maybe because of a time constraint here, we're going to get on to the next play. But I think all of us are anxious to get to where we're in pads, and you're going to be able to get a better evaluation.
Frankly, the Broncos have most of their players coming back. It's still Sean Payton's offense, even though Davis Webb is calling the plays. It's a smart move. I love how Sean Payton handled the spring. The Jonathan Cooper situation, he had nothing to do with, and I like how the Broncos handle that eventually. And I don't know if Jonathan Cooper ever plays for the Broncos again. He's got bigger things on his mind, that's for sure, like staying out of jail. So overall, this spring, I thought was very positive for the Broncos. I think getting Jalen Waddle on the team was great, even though the draft day was a bit of a dud, that's for sure. But that's okay. The draft picks overall, it'll be fun to see how Jonah Coleman progresses, if Justin Jolie could be anything. It'll be fun to see if Red Bouchard can be somewhat of a player. The whole thing should be fun and fascinating and exciting. And I got the Broncos being Super Bowl contenders, man. And we'll see. It was tough to top what they did last year. 14 wins in the regular season is unbelievable. So we'll see. But now we have a break until late July when they come back for training camp, and we'll have unbelievable coverage for you on Altitude Sports Radio. But the biggest story, of course, is Bo Nix and his ankles. And maybe you get a little nervous watching this as Bo was stretching yesterday and fidgeting with that right ankle. probably not the most reassuring video in the world to see him all messing around because it's not all that comfortable or whatever he's going through. But the rest of the practice went fine. There's no big breaking news there. He did what he did yesterday or the day before, rather, that did not participate in 11-on-11, but did some 7-on-7. And you can see him out there throwing the ball and stretching and all that sort of other stuff. So listen, it looks like he'll be good to go for training camp, and we'll just hope that he has a healthy year. Mike McGlinchey, his buddy, is happy that he's back.
Yeah, obviously it was a really hard situation for all of us. You know, you work so hard to achieve, you know, the opportunity to play late in the year, and he didn't get to participate, and that stinks. And you know, a bunch of us live here full time, but we train here all year, and he's been here every single day, you know, grinding to make sure he's ready to go. And watching him and his work ethic and his spirit as he went through this has been awesome. Really excited for what he's going to do moving forward. And, you know, it gives us a lot of juice seeing 10 in the huddle when he's across from you.
All right. Very good. The Broncos have put a wrap to it. And I think overall this spring was very successful. For a deeper dive into the Broncos, watch Altitude Football from last night and tonight. Myself and Chad Brown at 6 p.m. will go over everything from the spring and what to expect from the Broncos as they go into the break and then training camp. That's tonight at 6 p.m. Make sure you like and subscribe for notifications. And you can always go back and just watch everything. That's why you should subscribe. We appreciate you watching, but if you haven't subscribed yet, come on now. We need you to do better. The Rockies lost 8-6, and it was a weird game. Sean Sullivan, starting pitcher, only his second major league start ever, had a terrible second inning. He gave up 7 runs. It looked awful. He threw more than 40 pitches. But the bullpen was a bit worn out. And with the day off on Thursday, the last thing they wanted to do was expend more arms that they don't need to, and rest is on the way. If we're going to lose this game, we're going to lose this game. So they told Sullivan, you need to stay out there, and he did. What was remarkable in the third and fourth innings, he did settle down. And the Rockies were kind of like, well, we're getting killed, and, you know, what are we supposed to do? Then something kind of quirky happened. They didn't give up. Sterling Thompson with his first major league homer.
Thompson hits this to deep left. Haps looking up. This one's gone. Whoa. Opposite field home run. Sterling Thompson, first of his career.
Okay, that's pretty good. Then Pete Crow Armstrong, who's a great player, but really, he's such a douchey looking guy. He got one of the weirdest home runs of all time.
Cool, and then just kind of saying I want more from that in the end.
Fly ball deep down the right field line, into the corner, and it's a fair ball and a home run for Pete Crow Armstrong. Right over the foul pole. 15th for Pete. He'll touch home. And once he does, it's 8-1 Cubs.
All right, this was a really confusing moment because everybody saw that it was on the foul side of the foul pole. And it's called a foul pole, not a fair pole, which is stupid because if it hits the foul pole, the ball is fair. There's a rope on the side of the foul pole that is also painted yellow. If it touches anything that's yellow on the foul pole, that is the same equivalent of hitting the foul pole. And like I said, if it hits the foul pole, it's fair. They looked at this thing for a long time. It was very difficult to detect. But what they said, and I do love our guys. I do love our broadcasters. But it really took them forever and a day to figure out. They're trying to figure out if the ball skimmed off the foul pole. And if I believe it hit the rope that was also painted yellow on the foul pole. Thus, it's a home run. Warren Schaefer was not having that.
Did you get an explanation on that home run, or what did the umpires tell you on that?
Well, he called it fair, and the replay obviously showed it foul. But the replay couldn't show if it nicked the foul pole. So, okay, he got it wrong.
Or he got it right. Warren Schaefer is just not the right guy for this particular job. He's trying to hang in there the best that he can. But he ain't the guy. He was never supposed to be the guy, and he shouldn't be the guy. He's better than Bud Black, because Bud Black was an abomination in terms of managing. He was really the wrong guy, and I guess Warren Schaefer is better than Bud Black, but I would have been better than Bud Black. And I hope Paul DePodesta and the Rockies management understand, if they're really going to go in a different direction, you got to have a manager who has a better mindset. But that being said, it's 8-1. And this is weird, man. Like, this is Major League Baseball, professional at the highest level. So handing out Girl Scout cookies for effort does not seem to be a just thing. But the Rockies didn't give up, and they made things really interesting in this game. Sterling Thompson hit his second home run.
And this ball's well hit toward right center field. This one's got a chance to go. How about 2 home runs for Sterling Thompson?
Awesome. Cole Carrig continues to shine both offensively and defensively. This was the 5th hardest, fastest throw from the outfield for a double play. This is absolute brilliance. And by the way, when you're taught how to throw out a runner from the outfield, watch how, if I was showing a little kid the exact way to throw out a tagging runner, I would show this, because you're supposed to get your body behind it, line up at the right angle, so you're running into the ball. And then when you throw the ball, believe it or not, you are supposed to extend yourself like a Superman sort of deal. That is how you are coached to do it. It's how to get the most velocity on a throw and the most behind it. This was textbook. And this is from a rookie.
Thinking they're holding one link. Carrick, now he's going to throw off his arm. Here it comes. Throw toward third. Oh, my. Out! What a throw by Carrick. Are you kidding me? That was lasered.
This technique right here is exactly what you're supposed to do. And he would fall face forward after the throw, but it's absolutely perfect technique. A no-hopper to Karros, who made a really nice tag as well. This is what kills me about the Rockies sometimes. There are moments where it's like, wow, man, damn, that's exciting. And yeah, okay, the game was 8-1, but it got more interesting, and Carrick makes a great play. And you're just feeling like, I don't know, they're probably not going to win this. And all of a sudden, like, Hunter Goodman hits his 21st of the year.
Their run home. That'll do it. Deep center field. May do more than that. It is gone. 2-run home run, Hunter Goodman. Here come the Rockies. It's 8-5. Number 21 for Hunter.
That was a laser.
Yeah, 2 strikes, cut fastball, and I guarantee you Hunter Goodman was just trying to put the ball in play. He really was.
He jacked it, man, and he's an all-star again so far. And so you're like, all right, this is kind of interesting. And then Karros goes deep.
Karros hits his ball with authority to right center field. It's got a lot of carry, and it's gone. Oppo Taco for Kyle Karros. The Rockies within 2 on the 4th big fly for Karros.
Man, I'm kind of jacked up, and they just fell a little bit short.
Another 2-2. And that is fielded on a hop by Bregman, and that's the ball game. Hit hard by Freeman. The Rockies made a valiant comeback. They'll come up a little bit short on this Wednesday night at Wrigley Field. That
was a great play by the third baseman, and that ball was scorched. And, you just got a bit unlucky. Listen, like I said, it's a moral victory, but I'll take this rather than the walkathon. And yeah, the Rockies gave up a lot of hits, but mostly it's because of a really poor second inning. Other than that, you got the goofy home run by PCA in the fourth. You got 4 shutout innings by the Rockies pitchers in relief from Agnos and from Hergert. Agnos in particular, 3 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, just no relief whatsoever for the Cubs. They did great. And Hergert comes in with 2 hits, but 2 strikeouts and untouched, throwing 13 strikes on 19 pitches, getting ahead of the batters, making things happen. Like I said, 2 strikeouts, no walks. And for a team that walked 9 guys a couple of days ago, 4 walks on the entire game. I just wish that Sullivan, who again just made his second start, had better luck in that second inning, or we would have had a very interesting game. But the Rockies scored a lot of runs against the Cubs. They had that ridiculous game against the A's where they put up 23. Like, they're hitting with runners in scoring position. They're hitting with power. They're getting dynamic play from Cole Carrig. I think Warren Schaefer is a mediocre to poor manager. Perhaps would even have more success. And the Rockies are 28-47, which of course is not great. And if you look in the standings, it still leaves them in last place in the entire league with a run differential of -90, none of which is good. But moral victories kind of matter at this stage. The Boston Red Sox are coming to town. They are only 1 win better than the Rockies, and they'll be in next week after a weekend series and happy Father's Day weekend with the Pirates coming to town. So, day off for the Rockies. There's no Broncos. There's no Avs. There's no Nuggets. This is a very weird day. June 18th for Colorado sports. No Buffs, no college football. We have a 0 day. Boy, there are not a lot of 0 days in the Colorado sports calendar, but we have one today. So we'll watch a little bit of World Cup. This World Cup moment of Zen is brought to you by the Congo.
Now already that quick question of what happens in 2026. And there's a man who pays tribute to late Patrice Lumumba, stands that way the entire match. Yeah. Motionless. It's a very glowing homage that he pays.
All right. That's a lot of money to pay for a ticket to just stand there. But way to go, Congo. Oh, by the way, apparently everybody hates Cristiano Ronaldo. And Zlatan hates Alexi Lalas. World Cup action. Warren Schaefer, what do you?
If this game is hard to play, straight up, but when you allow 9 walks and air in the last couple of innings to give them some free runs, it's not something that the Rockies pride themselves on.
No, you're asking it. Is that a question?
Yeah.